Okay, we on live, and today we have a special guest. I've introduced her music in my podcast episode 88. She did a rendition, a song entitled I Deserve Better. She goes by the name Zipporah. She's a Caribbean Britain singer. She's from the island of Antigua, Anguilla. She's from the island of Anguilla. So as we wait for her to come in, I just want to take the time out to say good evening, good afternoon, and she's here. So let's get her in. Let's see what's.
Hi, Jay.
Hello, Zipporah. And we are live with Zipporah. So what's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. And how is the music?
It's good. It's going good. I'm excited to drop it. So we're just waiting on a few final touches.
All right, okay. So that will be for the new year.
We're hoping so. Yes, we're hoping so.
Okay, so how much tracks are we looking at on that album?
Um, I don't want to give too much away, but
Okay.
I'll say more than four.
How much?
More than four, I'll say.
More than four. So we're looking at probably six or eight, probably 10.
Maybe not eight, but somewhere around there.
Okay. So I was just telling the audience about the song that I featured some episode back. Um, I believe the name of the song was "I Deserve Better."
Hmm.
Um, a very nice song.
Thank you.
Uh, but can you was this song a personal song, or was it just a song on general, or was it
No, it was a personal song. I think all of my songs are written from personal experiences, whether they're my own or like my friends or my family. They always come from a very close space. So,
okay? Well, all I hear it's a personal song because I mean I've listened to that song probably, oh man, a lot of times. Sometimes when I'm in my moment, that is the
Mhm.
song I listen now
That's good. I
because
like that. I
it,
like
it has
that.
some elements in it, or should I say lyrics in it
Mhm.
that maybe pertaining could be about my life also in a sense.
Yeah,
Relatable,
no, I
so to
definitely
speak.
get that. I always try to make music that people can relate to, you know. So just the fact that you can relate to that, I like that. That's what I aim to do. So
Right. So how the with all this pandemic thing going on and stuff
yeah.
like that, do you get out perform much or no gigs so
Well,
far.
the pandemic has slowed things down a lot. In terms of the bars and the restaurants, they're closed. Right now, England is under a lockdown for a month. So
Oh,
a lot of those things are not open. It's just like online shopping. So yeah, there's not really much we can do.
oh, so you know digital stuff because I've managed to see a lot of artists doing the online shows and
Mm-hmm.
all these things.
I'm
So
thinking of actually. I'm thinking of doing some, but in like for the meantime, I've just been like putting up my covers. I find persons really seem to be enjoying those, so I've just been trying to do more of those on my Instagram because persons seem to be liking that. So I kind of feel like that makes up for the online shows, you know. So
okay, because as we all know, people that all are watching the mashup queen right there, the mashup queen. All the tune you can think about, all the tune you can think about, whether it be soca, whether it be reggae, whether it be dancehall, whether it be hip hop, rap. That's the girl right there. She has all her version of all these tunes. Check out she page. You will see what I'm talking about. Yeah. She's the mashup queen. I've never seen, I mean, I've seen couple artists, female artists, because right now, I'm letting you know my focal point right now in this my podcast season, which is the seventh season,
Mhm,
right? My
mhm,
focal point is really the female artists right now. So a lot of the male artists probably getting angry because I'm not really featuring some of the music on the podcast right now because the episode is really about female. If you go on the podcast from the first episode in season 7, you would see that I'm introducing female artists from Liberia to America to
mhm,
Barbados to all over the globe, right? And you are one of the artists that I put on my special feature with the song I Deserve Better, which was in episode 88. Right, so that would have been season 6 of the podcast and stuff. And I'm telling all you, I mean, I following this lady every post, every oh my, because she always singing. People, if all I have some kind of wedding, some kind of whatever, that's your girl right there. She always singing. She always singing. She loves singing, you know.
Yes, definitely.
And I would, it would be actually, I'm kind of a bit excited for that this album because you've been telling me about this album for a while, and I know I digging you because I think I'm more eager than you, so to speak, because
I get
uh,
that.
I mean, you give me one song, and if that song, that song is so emotional, and it is a relatable song because I'm sure every single person in the world may have gone through something like that, right?
Mhm,
May have gone through
yeah,
something like that. And if that song is of that kind of texture, man,
mhm,
I could imagine the album. The album would be
mhm.
full with. But you know what I'm hoping for you to do though? sing a soca.
I actually have played around with a bit of soca back way back in the days. So it's actually on my SoundCloud. But I don't know, I kind of went more to R&B pop kind of music. I do love my soca though, I do. But I don't know, I just
Well, you must love your soca. You are island girl.
yes, definitely, definitely. But in terms of the EP though, I will say in terms of your point about it being, very um emotional. Yes, I think I definitely that is the aim. I think for every song that I do, I think I always try to garner some kind of emotion in the person that's hearing it. So if you think that the song that you heard was quite emotional, the EP is like 10 times more than that
Okay,
because it's one whole project together. So
okay.
when
So
it
it
comes
will
out, we'll talk more about it.
okay, so it will be more deep. In terms of
Definitely. It's a deep project.
in terms of production and stuff, do you do your own production?
No. At one point in time I used to. Um, but I don't know why I stopped doing it. I don't know if I got tired of it or I think I was just too busy. But no, I just stuck to writing the songs and just finding guys to give me beats really. So
Production is a lot of work.
it is. It is. And I think at the time as well, I was going to school. So, trying to balance school. Then I was like the president and founder of a club, of a
Hmm.
Caribbean club in Sheffield, actually.
Hmm.
Because there wasn't a Caribbean club there. So I was like, well, I want to go to a Caribbean club, so let me just start one. So I was dealing with that. So to
Hmm.
be like balancing all of these things, I couldn't do it all. So,
It was too
so
much.
hmm
So now that you finished school, right?
sorry?
You finished school, right? You finished your
Yes,
studies
so
and
I've
stuff
just
like
finished
that.
my
So
master's.
right, so as you through with the studying and all these things, would you go back into production? Because I mean, when I see you singing on some of these videos, that always goes in the back of my mind. I'm
Mm.
seeing the mic, condenser mic, saying, okay, she knows
Mhm.
the right mic to have, so
Mm.
she have to be doing her own production, you know.
No, I've not been doing it, but no, that's a thought. I might just I like I've also been thinking about it, about um actually getting back into making beats. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because I do have more time now, to be fair, so we'll see.
Yes, and with all this pandemic and all this
Hmm.
lockdown and all this stuff, because to tell it, even I have dived back into making beats also because time
Oh, okay.
on my hand.
Hmm.
But I used to do it
Yeah.
long time and then I kind of, danced away from it
Hmm.
because I started doing this podcast business and
Yeah.
YouTube and all these things. And these things is time because even with the podcast, there's a lot of editing and putting together and stuff like that. Because when I record the audio,
Hmm.
I have to edit. Sometimes there's things in it that I may not want, or I might say a little too much about something, and and all
I
these
get
stuff like that. So I have
that.
to edit that, put it together, and all these things, and then to put it up on the platform and stuff like that. So I kind of shied away from the music, making music and stuff like that. But then sometimes I meet artists and they looking boy, they're looking for some good music, you know. Sometimes they be like, these producers, they're so expensive, you know.
Hmm.
And sometimes most of these producers now, when they make beats, they more or less have their website, so there's lease, is track out,
Yeah.
is all kind of stuff. And most of
Hmm.
these artists trying to get away from that because when you jump on a beat, there's all kind of things with it, and sometimes you sing a song on it, and then the
Definitely. That's
songs never reach nowhere.
that's what I kind of try to stray away from the online beats of because I was there as well. I was at a point in time where you go online, you find a nice beat that you like, and then if you don't read the fine print on these websites, you will get screwed over.
Yep.
Um, so with a lot of these beats, what happens is that the beat producer, they actually like if you don't read the contract, but they actually maintain like 80% of the copyright. And that's
That's
not how a song works. A song should be 50-50 if it's the singer and the beat maker. So I think
mm,
actually I think it was Queen Naija who is a great example of this. I think with her song, I think it was Medicine that went viral. Um, the guy who made the beat, he actually was the one making the money off of it for a while, and it's only when she finally got a legal team in place was where she was actually able to make some money off of her song, which I think is extremely sad. Like, how can you make a song and you're not even getting the money from it? It's the person who's made the beat that is getting all or majority of the money from it. So no, so I'm very careful about online beats. Luckily, I have a few producers that I work with. So we actually set out
yeah, you
the
have.
like who owns what in the
Mm,
deal. So it's a
yep,
bit
yeah,
easier
yeah.
and more fair, to be
You lay,
honest. So
you lay your card on the table before you
mhm,
even record. You say, listen, we both have
mhm,
products. You have the beat, I have the lyrics, I have the melody, whatever, whatever.
mhm,
If this was to go south and it was to blow up 50-50 or 60-40, because personally speaking, I don't even believe that. I mean, okay, yes, you produce the beat, but I don't believe that a producer even supposed to get 50-50. I mean, if it's your friend, and two of you
mhm.
all are going through that journey together on the road to excellence, stardom, all these things, then it's fine. But if you're working with a producer, it might just be one song. Because look at it. If you don't put words in a beat, the beat means nothing really and truly. You can put a beat on the radio station to play for it to reach. Nobody would then stream a beat on Spotify and all these places. They stream songs. So to me, the lyrics, the person who write the song, the person who is singing, it should be a more 60-40 percentage to me. But most people would say 50-50 because maybe the studio would be the one that would mix, master. They would be the one probably to push out the music too as well. So 50-50. But if it is,
It's different. It's different for everyone. I think every producer will give you a different rate. So it just depends on what you're looking for, to be honest. But yeah, I agree with you.
yeah. Because I mean, I have, oh man, I had my share of licks in the music world. I
We
had
all
my
have, trust me.
I had my share of licks, and at the ending of the day, I didn't benefit not eating, right? So that's why I just like moved away from that. I'm doing this, and this is mine, right? This is every production that I do. It's mine. It have no producer. It have no me. I edit, I record, I edit, I do everything. The only, the only, not even the platform. The platform don't even own my stuff because I can pick up my whole catalog of recordings and I can tell them, hey, um, I don't really like the things y'all are offering at your platform, and I'm moving to this platform, right? Well, I mean, there's a lot of platform where you can host your podcast and stuff like that. And I see people moving from one to the next because everybody they are looking for a better service, right? This platform that I'm using, to me, it's the best, right? Because whenever I drop an episode, it goes everywhere. Everywhere you can think about with podcasts, it goes, and it's on two of the biggest music channels in the world, which is Apple Music and Spotify, right? So, and plenty artists calling me, man, I saw your playlist, I saw your playlist on Spotify, and I want to be featured. And I said, hold up, it's not like that. Not because you're seeing I'm doing something on Spotify. Don't feel that I'm just throwing up music to play. I say it's a podcast. I feature artists, and I don't just feature art. I mean, I get email from all over the world. I mean, I get email from people. I don't even understand the music. German music, Russian music, and all I do is just delete the emails because my
It's a lot.
no, you see, the thing is, my podcast is not really about this type of music, really and truly. My
Mm,
podcast is about Caribbean artists, really and truly. Or you have to have some Caribbean heritage in some form, whether it be
mm,
you was born in England or you was born in America, but your parents may have been from the Caribbean or something,
mm,
or you was born in the Caribbean but you grew up wherever, right? And with your music, you have some kind of Caribbean influence,
mhm,
right? Because
mhm,
Caribbean music is what I want to push, not the soca, the dancehall, the reggae, and all this stuff. I mean, come on,
mhm,
I ain't wanna push no pop. The pop
mhm,
have to be, the pop have to have a soca influence or a
mhm.
dancehall
Yeah.
influence. Or, yeah,
Mhm,
I'm not going on. Come on, these countries is all about techno and deep house and all
yeah.
this stuff. And I mean,
Mhm,
although they play this music in the Caribbean, but the thing is, most of these places don't even know about the Caribbean culture, which I'm trying
mhm,
to push. So
mhm,
this is basically it. Um, and I'm trying to get the ladies in the forefront because I mean, I've been watching the industry for years, and I've seen female artists come and go in the dark of the night, and people never know about them,
mhm.
right? Because I
Yeah.
mean, people coming in on the live, they be like, she sings because they know I interview artists and stuff, you know, and people will probably be wow, you know, first time I'm seeing this artist or so that is why I'm working so hard to push in not the Caribbean flavor, the female artists and stuff like that, and even if I could get some of y'all to even collaborate, so to
Mhm,
speak, because last week I interviewed a artist from well, she's really from Miami. No, she's really from Wisconsin, but she lives in Miami, right? And
mhm,
she sings soca. She's a white girl that sings soca, I don't know if you
Mm.
see, I don't know if you probably had any chance to bounce up a white girl that sings soca in England. I don't know. If you know any, you could probably link me with them. I would like to speak to them,
Mhm.
because one sometimes when I finish do the interview, people like I know you your podcast is about music, but
Mm.
I was kind of shocked when I saw a white girl, you're interviewing a white girl and she does music. And I was like, yeah, there's a lot of white girls doing soca. But
Mhm.
the world probably not ready to
As
see
yet for
that
that.
because I even
I mean,
interviewed. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, even in England, I don't think you even see a lot of persons singing soca, let alone any race that they are. So it's different.
Hmm.
It's different, you know.
Well, I've come across couple artists in England singing soca.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I
There's
see
one.
more so dance hall, if anything, but not really soca or
There's
ska, but not
and I
really
think
defined.
that artist is from Antigua or something like that. Somewhere up your side, right? She goes by
Yeah.
the name um, Natalie, Nasha or something like that. Natia.
Mm,
You probably should look up. I think she's on Instagram. You probably should check it out. Yeah, she lives in England and she does soca. I've met couple women in England doing soca, but as you say, soca is not. It don't have the kind
as
of hype.
mainstream.
Yeah, like you're gonna get more soca in America.
Hmm.
You're gonna get more artists doing soca in America. There's also an artist that I week before is last week, week before Sunday. She is from Switzerland,
Mm,
right? And
okay.
she tours all through England and all this stuff like that. But she was born in Trinidad, but she grew up
Hmm.
in Switzerland because her mom is from Switzerland, her dad is from Trinidad.
Mm,
Another white girl, and
hmm.
she sings soca pop, right? Good
Oh, okay.
music, and
Mm,
people don't know them.
mm,
People don't know them. I mean, I don't know if it's because the soca is more. I don't want to sound so racial or anything, but
hmm.
if like it's more like a African thing, a black people thing, or I
Yeah.
don't know if it's because they seen it that way that they not giving the different races that leverage of really being big in it.
Mhm. No,
Yeah, but
I wouldn't say soca is a black people thing per se, in that if you look at the Caribbean, we are a melting pot of races. You know, you got
yes, we know that.
Indian, Chinese, European influences in there. So really and truly, you know, it's a whole melting pot of cultures in there. So I think it isn't necessarily that it's for Black people that's the problem. I think it's just that we just have not made it into that mainstream market as of yet. But um I think it's becoming easier because if you look at Afro beats now, that has gone worldwide. Other genres like Latino music, that now, you know, has started to spread across different cultures. And I think you see more of like dance halls starting to spread. Reggae has definitely spread thanks to Bob Marley. But I think after a while, I think the more we collaborate with international artists, the more we tour, you know, I think. I think we are going to cross those borders and get into more countries, but I think it's more so just a matter of whether the mainstream market likes it or not versus it being a black person thing. But I think the problem, or we also have to think about the challenge in terms of when it turns mainstream. Is that going to be a good thing or a bad thing? Because will persons then take music that is our culture and turn it into something else and something different, you know? So
Well,
food for thought.
true, true. But as you mentioned, Bob Marley, right? We have seen Bob Marley took reggae worldwide, but we have also
Mm-hmm.
seen that Bob Marley have inspired people
Mm-hmm.
from different walks of life, different
Mm-hmm.
countries, different cultures, who all came into all this Rastafari thing and start
Mm-hmm.
doing reggae because I mean I've seen a lot of reggae band that is all white,
Yeah,
and that
definitely.
was because of Bob Marley. People like, well, not just Bob Marley alone, but people like um, Jimmy Cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Cliff and all these fellas, the Bonnie Wailers, and all these. And I'm talking about way before Sizzler and Garrett Silk and all these fellas, right? We've seen, I mean, I've seen a lot of white Rastafarians, and most of them would tell you, Bob Marley, Bob Marley, Bob Marley was the inspiration. And
Mm-hmm.
if it is, reggae could do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without changing, because you can't change reggae, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot change reggae. Reggae have a song that you can't put pop music to it and say it's reggae. You cannot put no kind of form of nothing to reggae and say
Mm-hmm.
that is reggae. Reggae have a certain song. So if Bob Marley could bring reggae global through his touring and all this stuff like that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
people from Australia, because there's a lot of Australian reggae. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of bands in Australia that do reggae. And if these people could come into reggae without even changing it, but instead listen to a lot of reggae, Bob Marley's, the all the Jimmy Cliffs, all these people, right? The Bon
Mm-hmm.
and Spear, all these people, and get the concept of reggae, right? So when they decide to do some kind of transition of song or something, the concept wouldn't be taken away, right? It
But
might
at the
it
same
might
time, I feel like reggae has a strong foundation, so I feel like it's a bit harder to change reggae. Whereas with soca music, I think it's a bit different in that it's a different kind of cultural element, and that we are on the street whining, in little costumes. Other persons from other cultures wouldn't they might not be able to understand that and would then watch that and say, oh, they're being so promiscuous in the streets, dancing half naked. So that's also another problem, that it's kind of like a cultural barrier in a sense as well. So I don't know, whereas reggae is just it's a bit, I mean, yes, you have, I guess you might wanna, I don't know. It's a bit different. It's what is deemed as socially acceptable.
hmm.
So I don't
Well,
know.
as you talk about soca and carnival and whining on the street, um,
Hmm.
I have a friend. She's from Trinidad, but she lives in New Orleans, and I think
Mm,
that was one of the topic, the whining stuff on the street and stuff, and that was one of the topic because I think I think she said that someone saw it as being a hoe on the street because
Yeah.
you have these costumes, some of them skimpy, you're not
Mm-hmm.
fully dressed, you're more
Yeah.
like it's more like you look like you're going on the beach, and and they see it as a whole business, like a bunch of hoes in the street on a particular. It come like a whole day. A bunch of
Mm-hmm.
ladies dressed up almost naked on the street whining, who
Mm-hmm.
whining down to the ground and stuff. And maybe, as you say, maybe in order for soca to really be understood, somebody have to like explain the whole thing behind the costumes and the whining and on the street and all this stuff like that before you can really introduce the music. So in other words, I feel
Mm-hmm.
somebody have to set up some soca school educating people about the culture
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that because
Yeah.
that is where people get the misconceptions of things, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
there was a issue last year, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you heard about it, right?
One.
With Nicki Minaj and her husband in
Yeah,
Trinidad,
I think so, yeah. I think I heard about
right?
him.
No, there was a whole misguided conception with him because remember Nicki Minaj is from Trinidad, right? Nicki Minaj is
Mm-hmm.
from well, she is really from my side of Trinidad, which is the south, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Nicki Minaj is accustomed to Trinidad. She accustomed in and
Mm-hmm.
out of Trinidad. She knows the culture. She knows everything about it, right? So she know, I mean, if she come Trinidad, obviously, come on. I mean, Nicki Minaj is not an ugly woman. She looks good. Of course, a guy
Mm-hmm.
will come on. Who guy in Carnival see Nicki Minaj wouldn't want to dance or, you understand? So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, she on the truck with Iowa George, a artist, a big artist in, I mean, come on, in the soca fraternity. And, probably Iowa maybe give her a little knock, a little friendly knock and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband, who is from America, New York,
Mm-hmm.
knows nothing about the culture. And that is bad. Being a black person, you're supposed to be in tune with everything that is black culture, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Now tell me if I'm wrong. Because okay, even I being in the Caribbean, I try to understand certain things about Africa, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain things about it, that kind of culture and stuff like that, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
it may be different. Certain things I see they do, I'll be like, nah, man, is that so? Right? But that's
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah.
that culture, and it's supposed to be our culture too. But because we are in the Caribbean and we our culture is mixed up with different, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand the whole whining thing. And if a girl whining and a guy might be gauging, he watching she, he might be watching she for 10 minutes, she looking good, she
Mm-hmm.
going on in a kind of enticing way that could draw his whole being into her. He gonna wanna dance. Come on, that is carnival. The whole
Mm-hmm.
idea of carnival is see if you can get a dance. You might be seeing
Yeah.
a girl, you might be seeing a woman for the whole year, and you can't even get
Mm-hmm.
a chance to say hello, hi, how you doing, right? And
Mm-hmm.
carnival time is the only time you can be as close to that woman as possible.
Mm-hmm.
To even tell her something. Who knows? You might
Mm-hmm.
probably become friends because of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna wanna dance. So there he is on the truck. He wanna fight with Iowa George,
I
right?
mean, he didn't. I don't think he wanted to fight with him. I think he just pushed away his hand.
Well,
But at the same time, I don't think it's his job to know about Caribbean culture. So I'm gonna have to kind of disagree with you on that one. But I will say, if he has a Caribbean woman, then he needs to be a bit more educated on the culture. I think. I don't know. Maybe they should have spoken about it beforehand. But I mean, I have been to jams as well, like when I had a man, and if a guy tried to dance with me, he would be like, "Yo, like, what are you doing?" So I mean, he wouldn't push away his hand. He might just, come closer to me. But I feel like even certain Caribbean men, like they do it as well. Maybe not so obvious,
well,
but
yes,
still,
well, yes, well, yes. If I'm in, come on. If me and my girl is in, I mean, okay. There's times when you will tell your significant other, you know what?
yeah, it's okay.
Free up.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to know what it is you're doing. You have to know what it is you stand for, right? You know
Mm-hmm.
that, hey, you have a husband, you have a guy, however you choose to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I know the same. I have to know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
There's all different types of whining, and there's all different types of way
Mm-hmm.
to whine with somebody, and it all
Mm-hmm.
depends on how you do that. Someone can tell that, hey, that is an intimate whine.
Yeah.
That is a
Mm-hmm.
whine sending a signal to the woman,
Mm-hmm.
or that is a friendly whine, or that
Mm-hmm.
is a meaningless whine. So if you know you have a woman,
It's a lot.
you cannot whine the way with a complete stranger the way you're whining with your woman.
Mm-hmm.
Whining with your woman, it's gonna have a little more meaning, a little more taste, because that is your girl, that is yours. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the same thing with thing. But if a guy come in to grind on my woman, happily I'm single, so I don't have to worry about that. But if it comes down to that, and now I will be watching in the way in which he does it, and
Yeah.
maybe depending on how I may get pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
I may push him away because I might tell myself this guy looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
This guy looking for something. And in carnival times, anything can happen because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a woman drinking she little beer or she little rum and coke, whatever, whatever, she had a little nice, and a guy come and dance behind her. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can
But at the
happen.
same time, I feel like you need to have that discussion because every couple is different. Some couples, they don't care. You go find whoever you want to. I'll go do the same. We'll meet up later. Whereas other couples, it's like I can only dance on you and that's it. And then there are other people who are like, yeah, you could dance, but you can't do too much, like you can't be bending over and things. So it's different. It varies. It varies. And I think
Mhm.
once you establish, the rules and like what can happen, then y'all should be fine. As long as y'all abide by them, then it should be fine. But I think y'all need to have that conversation.
Yeah, so well anyways, I guess maybe she didn't have the that conversation
Conversation.
with him.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, he must know about the culture because that culture is all over New York, and you're from New York. Come on,
Ah,
I seen Jay-Z and Beyonce in a soca concert. Come on, and Jay-Z and Beyonce, Jay-Z and he's feeling
mhm.
the whole soca vibes. I mean, not the
Yeah.
fact that Jay-Z been in Trinidad already because from couple years, well, that's a lot of years. he filmed part of Big Pimpin' in Trinidad
Mm.
and stuff like that. I mean, not the fact that Beyonce being in Trinidad, she performed concert and whatnot, but the fact that they know that soca is a part of the culture. It doesn't matter if you live in America, if you live in England, if you live in Wales. Once you're black, soca is a part of your culture. I don't care who disagree and who agree. It's the truth. It's no, but it's the truth. Come on. Soca is a part of your culture. If you're born in the Caribbean, whether you're Chinese, whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're what, soca is your culture.
Mm.
Once you have that part of that, soca is your culture. So come on. I I I mean I'm not angry at the guy. He
Mm.
was just being protective. I mean, yes, who would not? You don't know she's a beautiful woman, she's all that, and if you only slip, a guy just waiting to be replaced. We get that.
Mm.
We get that. And I mean, it's not only with her. I mean, whether it be non-celebrity or whatever, if a guy realize that he is with what you would like to say a gem or a dime, he knows this woman is all that. For me,
Mm.
I know how I just feel around that woman. I know how that woman does make me feel. A type of way that
Mm.
I can't afford to lose that
Mm.
woman. I can't afford to lose that person. I get it how he feels. So he telling himself, you know what? Iowa, you're getting a little bit too close. This all this
Yeah,
rubbing and
I don't think he handled it well, but I don't give him wrong for not wanting the next man to dance on his woman, so
but then you know how we in the Caribbean is. As you see the whole of Trinidad erupt, right? And I think if it came down to a beat down, I think the whole of Trinidad and that kind of everybody who was there on that carnival there in Port of Spain would have given him a beat down.
yeah,
Personally.
no, I know y'all were really upset about it. I heard about it. Y'all were really
Yeah.
upset.
Because
Like,
I
how
mean
dare he?
people started attacking him on social media, on his page, and Nikki had to well Nikki
Apologize, I
she
think.
went Nikki yeah, she apologized at first, right? She
Mm.
apologized and stuff like but to Trinidad people they just thought that Nikki apologizing was not enough because the guy he didn't come out and say, oh look, I'm sorry, I didn't understand the culture and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
the fact that Iowa was the Sokamona king at that
Yeah.
year made it even
Yeah,
worse.
more
So
embarrassing.
yeah, so she did apologize, but the people find it was not enough. They
Mm.
didn't want to hear Nicki Minaj. They didn't have no qualms with Nicki Minaj.
Mm.
Everybody in
That's always
Trinidad,
fun.
everybody in Trinidad love Nicki Minaj, right? They
Mm.
appreciate Nicki Minaj. But this guy, because you could go anywhere in the world, if a Trini had to fight, let it. If a Trini have to disrespect a Trini, or if somebody have to disrespect a Trini, let it be a Trini.
Mm-hmm.
Trini don't like when other people disrespect a Trini. Now, if you are
Mm.
Trini and
I
you
got
if
you.
yeah, if you are Trini and you're disrespecting me, people may not really get too much into the
Mm.
conversation. But if you're not, they coming at you.
Mm.
Trust me, they are coming at you because who
I
is
get
you?
that.
Yeah, so that is what happened
Yeah.
to him. So the fact
Mm-hmm.
that he was not apologizing. Now you know what they're gonna do?
None.
Some of these trainees now they're gonna dig up files with this guy. They go in and do all kind of research to find out who this guy is. And when they found out who this guy is, they start a post. But he's a child molester. He now they started to go into the guy's personal business. And they started expose it because plenty of people don't know who Kevin Petty is. I mean, I know who Kevin Petty is. Kevin Petty, he worked with people like Suge Knights and all these fellas. He more or less like a bodyguard for rappers and all these things. So I know about him and stuff. I know the guy. But people who didn't know was looking into this guy now, and he started posting. But this guy is a child molester. You have to go in the police station every week or whatever and write down his name, and they started to expose the guy business. So this is where Nicki Minaj gets back in, and she was so pissed and she was so mad now. She started to diss. Yeah, she started to diss some of these people. Come on. I mean, something happened in Trinidad. He said he was sorry. He said he was sorry. He said he was sorry. He didn't understand the culture. He didn't know the culture. She was explaining it to that. But I did a episode on that with Nicki Minaj and all this issue. And I was blaming Nicki Minaj for not explaining things to her husband, right? Because if you know you are accustomed coming to your homeland for carnival and stuff, right? You always come. Now, you used to come, you were single and all this stuff. Now you bring your husband. Before you even think of bringing your husband, you're supposed to explain things or even go up on YouTube and show him some kind of carnival event and how it is and all this stuff, because you get all this stuff on YouTube, and explain things to him, right? And then he will understand. So
I don't know. I don't blame Nicki because from an artist point of view, she probably had just like so much other things to worry about, like her costume, the float, versus explaining to her man that a wine is a wine. And maybe she just didn't want to dance, I don't think I saw her dance at that carnival. So
no,
you never really know someone's actions.
no, she didn't really dance. She didn't really dance. She was on the truck, and I think he was what Iowa was doing was introducing, because although Nicki Minaj is a star and all that, there's plenty people who don't really know Nicki Minaj still. There's plenty people who don't know that she's from Trinidad and stuff. So what he was doing, I think he was introducing because he was on the mic. I mean, most of them were on that truck. Marshall Montano was right there. It wasn't just him and Nicki Minaj. It was Destra. It's a big truck. So most of the soca stars were there. It was the one of the biggest band in the Caribbean. I think that was Yuma or Revelers or one of these bands, Poison or something like that. So all these people were there, but what he was really doing was he was introducing Nicki Minaj to the people now, the Revelers around. So with doing that, he just like, just like give a little hug and pull her in the front and say, well, this is Nicki Minaj. And it was all that because he was not dancing really and she was not dancing really to say, he was whining and he was just introducing. But I just figured that the guy took it the wrong way and stuff like that. And at the point, I thought that, what's going on with you, bro? So
I mean, he handled it well. I think it was just a misunderstanding of culture,
yeah, it was.
and I
It was.
think at the end of the day, so it
And,
was.
and that is why I told you that I think that it should have a soca school. It should have a soca
Yeah.
school where you explain to people what could happen in carnival. Because if you go places like Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
you have to educate one about Brazil carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust me, I've seen one, and the things that go on there, you have to, especially as a man, as a woman, you have to educate one
Mm-hmm.
about the kind of things that happen in Brazil Carnival. You can't just go in Brazil Carnival and then when you see things the way it is, then you react
Mm-hmm.
in some kind of way, and then the whatever consequences follows after you react, then
Mm-hmm.
it's
But
because
isn't it the same way with us? I feel like we're in the reverse. So see how you're talking about you can't just go to Brazil Carnival and not be educated on their culture. For us, it's kind of like the same thing. It's like we want to carry our culture to the entire world and kind of get offended when they don't understand it, you know? So
that is why I speak about a
the
school.
Soca school. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because as I said, I have a friend there. She does in New Orleans, and she does soca dance. She has a soca dance school, and what she
Mm-hmm.
does is while doing that soca dance school, she also educates people on the soca culture. Well, she loves soca bad, so everything about her, soca is life to her. So she what she does is educate
Mm-hmm.
these young ladies, these young fellas on the culture. So if they was to go anywhere in the world and things like these happen, they would not be feel offended or and all this stuff, because they would be educated on, hey, that is just how these people as your turn
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
carnival. They see you tomorrow after carnival, they don't even know you. They won't tell you
Mm-hmm.
hello. They won't it have no friendship with that. You understand? Maybe I might make a friend or two, depending. But
Mm-hmm.
when you see them on an ordinary day, they won't pay no kind of form of attention to you,
Mm-hmm.
because yesterday was carnival,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a way of freeing up your mind, freeing up you might. I mean, carnival is like a big venting
Yeah.
thing. You might have all these pressure, all
Mm-hmm.
these, whether it be on work, whether it be life itself, and
Mm-hmm.
carnival is just the time to just
Mm-hmm.
de-stress. So you're whining
Mm-hmm.
on this woman, you're whining on that woman, you're whining on that woman. But tomorrow, probably I may not even see these women again in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You may not see them again in your life. And it's just a distressing event. So, I think we as the Soca Islands,
Mm-hmm.
who know about the culture, who know about what the ins and out about it, I think we need to more or less like come together and do something, because that also helps the music itself.
Mm-hmm.
That also helps the music itself, because if we can educate about the culture, it means that more people will understand the music better,
Mm-hmm.
right? And therefore,
Yeah,
it will,
definitely. I agree. I agree. I feel like it's
it,
definitely up to the artists to
yeah,
educate persons about their culture. Definitely
you
agree with
know,
that.
and that's why, I'm doing what I can do with the podcast. I'm doing what I
Mm-hmm.
can do. You know, I talk about certain things on episodes. I may not just play music. That's why my channel is music commentary.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I might talk a little about it, let people know about the culture itself, you know. Not
Mm-hmm.
just it's not just about music playing, people in the street whining all kind of way, rum drinking and all kind of craziness and all that stuff, but it also has a background of soca is love. Soca is love, right? You you
Definitely.
you can you can you and somebody may not be talking, you may not talk for like
Mm-hmm.
months, weeks. And you meet them up in Carnival and you be like, yeah, how you doing thing, take a beer, take a drink, and it's love,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to teach all these things that soca is love. I mean, I've spoken to some artists and they in the right thing with that. They know that, soca is a love thing and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And not just the artist, right? Because soca is not just about the artist, but everybody on board, everybody
Mm-hmm.
who is around that culture, that musical culture, should
Mm-hmm.
be on board,
Definitely.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
everybody should be on board. We can't just depend on, because at the end of the day, the artist is not really on that kind of, the artist more trying to push the music, but
Yeah.
we who could see, well, I mean, more like me, who on the sidelines. I'm not an artist anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm on the sideline and I could see certain ways that
Mm-hmm.
soca could reach even quicker or even further. I could say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, there's artists right now on the live listening, and I hope all are listening carefully, listening to what we are speaking about. It's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not just about you're going in the studio, recording a track, and then trying to put it
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, on the radio, on Spotify, and all them place. If you could take just 3 minutes out of your time and you could do
Mm-hmm.
a recording where you're talking about the culture, or you do a song where you talk about the culture before the songs come in. Or now is the
Mm-hmm.
time. You see, with all this COVID business going on and everything just locked down and everything is just on slow mo, this is the
Mm-hmm.
time to take the time to try, and because I might tell you this, people listening more now than before because people have the time right now to listen.
Mm-hmm.
What else would you do but to be online? And you can't go to work because the work closed down. Yes, you might be wondering how I'm making a dollar. For those who had his finance in check, they had a finance in check, so they have to work. But still, you you you
Mm-hmm.
you're getting to listen more, and we should. That's why I try to push and promote and push in all kind of ways. Because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I always say, right? I mean, come on, I want to sit down at the Grammys one day. Well, not the awards, not Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
All of that. I want to see a soca artist in a movie or some kind of thing, whether it be you,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be whoever, so that I'm gonna see Zipporah getting a Grammy for best acting artist or whatever in a movie or
Would love
something,
that.
or she's getting an award for best. Once it's to do with soca, best soca
Mm-hmm.
album, or best soca infusion album, or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that if I can even if I and all have to get a Grammy for best podcast pushing the soca music to the world or whatever, right? If it had happened
Mm-hmm.
that way, it happened. But really and truly, I'm just doing what I gotta do. If that had happened in the process, it happened. But what I'm saying, I just want to sit down and I could see a soca artist on the BT Award stage. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had one or two artists that really reached. Marshall was on the Soul Train business. Bungie Garlin was on the Soul Train business. They got award and stuff, but that's that's not it. That's not where it reaches,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is
right?
it. Mm-hmm.
That's not where it reaches. Okay, so Marshall and Bungie did it. Boom. So that is that. That's it. We reached. Soca has reached the pinnacle. No,
Mm-hmm.
I just as how I can sit down and I can watch the baby performing on BT Awards or Lil Wayne or Eminem and all these fellas.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Zipporah on the stage, they too, singing her ass off, in the BT Awards, and I can say, you know what? I know this woman, I know this
Mm-hmm.
woman, I had an interview with this woman once in my life, so I could feel
Yeah.
proud, that, wow, imagine it had a point in life when we was on a live and we was talking about the same exact thing, and then I could put on my
Mm-hmm.
TV and actually see her reach that goal. I will feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't even about money or some people might say,
Yeah.
oh,
The culture.
we did that interview, and you're a millionaire now, you should give me some money. And nah,
Yeah.
I want to be proud that I could see, people would go back and say, hey, this guy did an
Mm-hmm.
interview with this woman some years back, and he was talking to her about the same exact thing, and look at her, she's on stage now, you know
Mm-hmm.
they would realize that this guy was talking something into being. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
like to do. I like to talk things into being,
I
or
get
at
that,
least
definitely.
or at least have it in my mind. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've noticed this board behind there.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what it was.
That is what you call a vision board.
Yeah. Okay.
So everything that I do, these little colorful stickers there,
Yeah.
I put. So when I'm finished with you, when I'm finished with you, I will probably write down whatever on one
Mm-hmm.
of these sticker notes, and I will stick it right here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's
So
yeah. Yeah.
it comes like things you are accomplishing, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Vision board. You should try it.
No,
Vision board.
I have one on my phone of like some goals that I want to complete in the future. So
Oh,
similar,
okay.
I think I want to print it out and put it up as well.
Okay, so
So
you
yeah.
have a digital vision board.
Yeah.
Is it an app though?
No, it's just like a little notepad that I just have some goals. So like in 1 year, what I want to finish in 5 years, that kind
Okay,
of stuff.
okay. Now, well, I used to, the other phone what I had notepad, but this phone don't have this notepad business in it. I don't know. Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
probably have to, but I just figure if I write it out I can always see it,
Mm-hmm.
it will give me inspiration
Definitely.
to keep, So this is my
Yeah.
vision board. So everything I do, if it is I have to If it is I have to paint the room or whatever, I just put it up there and I just leave it
Mm-hmm.
there. So every time I watch I say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed 4 artists
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
since, and I just keep going and I just stick them all around. So like, say
Mm-hmm.
I've started, I think I've started last month. So say
Mm-hmm.
next year, November, it will be, I'll watch back and I'll say, okay, for the year, this is what I
Mm-hmm.
did, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I
This is what
definitely
I
have
did.
to come back for the EP when that gets released. I have
Yes,
to
yes,
come back.
yes, 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 yes. Because I mean, I would want to, I would, because I also have a SoundCloud channel also where yeah, I just put music and stuff like that. I have two SoundCloud channels where I post up music. So I don't just post up any kind of music, or more or less I will give the music a certain period. So
Mm-hmm.
if I say okay, I'm giving this song like 2 months. Let me see how it do in terms of listening, people listening it and stuff, please. And if I
Mm-hmm.
see like within the 2 months, you probably get like a thousand play, 2,000, then the song will stay, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I see like
Mm-hmm.
you had 20 plays or 15, I'll say, you know what? I'll probably give you a chance if you have like 50 within a certain time. I will leave it and
Yeah.
see, you know. But most time I delete some of these songs because I'm not saying, you know what, that one play,
Yeah.
people not listening to you. You
Mm,
just
I get
crowding up
that.
my channel and stuff. So I have two channel where I put up music and like soca music and stuff, um, hip hop, R&B, all these stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a chance to even, well, I didn't want to do it because I don't just post people music without their permission. So I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
it to put your song up without, because I don't know what kind of legalities your music have. Artists
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, they have the lawyer, they have the all kind of people with them. So I say next thing I put up the young lady's music, and next thing again an email being sued for putting up her music, you know, without permission. So I didn't put it up, but
Mm-hmm.
I promoted it on the podcast episode and stuff like that to my audience, which is growing immensely because
Mm-hmm.
right now man, almost the whole globe, places that I didn't even know exist. I mean, all
Just like
parts of
that.
all parts of England, you know. Uh, Man, I didn't know it have places like that in England because
Mm-hmm.
I only know some of the main places in England. But when I
Mm-hmm.
see little villages in England, I was like, wow, you know, broken
Mm-hmm.
down. Like if I go under, I have listeners in London,
Mm-hmm.
a certain percentage, and I click on London, it will break down all the different places in London itself
Mm-hmm.
that listens and stuff. So, you know, people listening and you know the podcast doing good because it's in the ranking. It's in the ranking right now. Yeah, right now it's
That's good. Keep it up.
yeah. Yeah,
It's only up.
the podcast has been the top, sometimes it's in the top 50. Right now it's in the top 50 in France, right?
Mm, that's good.
Sometimes it's in the top 100, sometimes it's in
Mm-hmm.
the top 200 in the world, sometimes it's in the top 100 in the world and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I just do what I'm doing. I'm not even, I mean, ever so often I peep at the look, someone is asking
What's
me what software are you using for your podcast analytic. Um, well, for my analytics, I use Chattable for my
mm-hmm.
analytics. So these, but I can also get my analytics from Apple iTunes. But I don't bother Apple iTunes at all because they show you it once I go up on my iTunes podcast stats. They show you that
Mm-hmm.
they show me that raw how which episode, how this episode is going, which one is getting more downloads, who is listening more, all that stuff. So I don't really like bother Apple because I use Chatable, and Chatable always email me all the analytics, the
Mm-hmm.
rankings. If I'm getting reviews, if people are writing reviews, if I'm getting star ratings and all this stuff. So I don't bother these people and them because these people, I'm doing what I'm doing with my podcast and they're doing what they're doing on their side. Them sending me every day. I'm getting an email from Chatable as to how my
Mm-hmm.
podcast is doing. I also use I also use there's so many sites where you can get your analytics from.
Mm-hmm.
There's Podkite, there's
Okay.
Podtrack, there's thousands. But I use
Yeah.
Chatable because Chatable is the best in the market for that. They give you everything from downloads, from and right now they have a thing called Smart Link where you
Mm-hmm.
can I haven't seen into that as yet. Too much drama. After going into too much of things and things and things. But
I have to go soon though, Jay. So do you have any dying
yeah,
questions for me?
um, do you have any collabs on
On
these
this EP?
songs, this EP?
Um, we're still working on it, so possibly, but with this pandemic, it's been a bit hard. So, but we're working on it. So if there is a possibility of it, but we'll see.
Okay. So is there any surprise on the on that EP? Like, you know,
I think when you hear it, you'll definitely be surprised. I know you already like I Deserve Better.
yeah.
But I think when you hear the difference in sound, I think when you hear how much I've improved, I think when you hear how amazing all of the songs are, I think you'll be like, wow, this girl
Okay,
is
okay,
coming
okay.
for people's
Because
throats.
yes, yes. Well, you're already doing that because
Mhm.
they already seen that on all the mashups that
Yeah, definitely. No, and
I
the
have.
mashups don't even compare to the songs
They
that I've
already
got
know
coming.
that you know what this girl could. She have the voice, but you know she
Mm-hmm.
just plays around with all the mashups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's not really
I like
putting her all into the mashups, but she has some throat. But you know,
it. Yeah.
we gonna hear it. We gonna hear it. I'm putting my mind into being blown away, into
Mm-hmm.
being surprised.
Definitely.
Um, I hope you have no, sometimes artists does have some kind of big artist in the EP, and there's, that has be the surprise, some big artists,
They have to find out.
yeah, in the EP, and they just telling you, don't worry, you will like it thing, and next thing you know, you're listening to the EP, and then you're here, and it's like, wait, this is this
Mhm,
artist, and it's like, oh shit,
mhm.
damn, so I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward. I'm really looking forward to your EP. Don't forget to your what your artwork for your EP.
Yes.
Make
I'm
sure
I'm on top
that
of all of that.
you tag me or make sure that you DM me it so I can put it up in my story. I can well when I put it
Definitely
up in my
will.
story, when I put it up in my story on Instagram, it ends up on Facebook story also and stuff like that. And in time to come, I have to do a blog. Right now,
Mm,
I'm doing a blog on an artist day. Oh man, it's
mm,
so many writing, but nevertheless, I love it. In time to come, I would want to do a blog on you also of your
mm.
journey, well, an autobiography, more or less to speak, because I've believed that, you know, you had a long journey, and I mean, I've been listening for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening so long that I can't remember how I even get to your page.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember how, but all I remember is that I found the page and I realized, but
You liked it.
this girl could sing, and not all that. She put it up. You understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice talking to you, for the first time. I
Definitely.
hope that
Yes, we will have many more, many more.
yeah, that will be so nice, like through your journey into
Yeah.
greatness, that will be so
Yes.
nice. So it was an honor talking to you
Thanks for
about
having me, Jay.
your music
Mm-hmm.
adventures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what 2021 could possibly
Will bring nothing but
bring.
good news
You
and
know,
good vibes.
I mean, not just for me and you, but for the whole world, for everybody.
Yes,
You know,
definitely.
I mean, this
Mm-hmm.
2020 was a bumper year
Yeah,
because
it was an eye opener to say the
things,
least.
things I wanted to do for this year, I had to just throw it in the back and forget about it
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
nevertheless, we are alive. We got God to thank for
Definitely.
that. So I just want to thank you for being on the live podcast
Thank you
show
for
with
having me.
me, the J Blood Podcast. Everybody go check it out on Apple iTunes and Spotify. Go follow me
Yes,
on
definitely.
Spotify, right? And listen to podcast and give me a little 5-star ratings, na man.
Definitely.
Help the podcast be more discoverable in the world,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Zipporah, thank you very, very, very much for. I know you are a very busy woman. I know you don't skylark with time and stuff like that. So I thank you very much for this chitty chat.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. We had a
Yeah,
nice little chat today.
yes.
I
So
enjoyed it.
let me leave you. Let you go back to your busy schedule. Right?
Mm-hmm. All right, Jay. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
later. Bye.
Bye. All right. Okay, people. So we were just speaking to Zipporah. She's a singer from England, Britain. She was born in Anguilla, but she lives in Britain, England, and she does music. So she has an EP coming out for 2021, and I'm looking forward to that. Um, I don't know if I will have time to probably squeeze in someone else. If not, it's your boy G Bludden, the G Bludden podcast. Go check it out on Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Castbox, and all these places where music is. You can check out my podcast on Deezer and all this stuff, Pandora and all this stuff like that, Amazon Music. You can go check it out. You can check it out on Alexa. Just say Alexa, find me the J Blunt podcast, or you can go on Sarai and say Sarai, find me the J Blunt podcast, and they will pull it up. and you can listen any episode. You can listen episode 88 with a special featured song by Zipporah, I Deserve Better. So until then, the J Bludden podcast, your boy J Bludden, I'm gone.